Hi guys, this is how to play Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. This is appropriate as one of your first ever rock guitar riffs that you've ever taken on, and it's also appropriate for people trying to work on their power chords or getting their E-shaped major bar chords kind of sussed out. So the first part of this, I'm basically going to teach you the bass part to the riff, which happens during the verses, and that can even double up, and we can do that for the chorus as well if power chords are too difficult for you. It's perfect as an introduction to tab, which is how we write down what these single note riffs kind of look like on the page. And yeah, it's a really great rock riff by the White Stripes. Really cool. So we need to start, to kind of learn the bass part for the verses, or if you're learning the easier version of this riff, we need to start with your first finger at your double dot on the thickest E string at 12th fret. We play that note twice, so one more time again, and then go to I really recommend your little finger at 15th fret, which will be the next dot on your guitar. So we play that first one twice, then to your little finger, and then back to your first finger. So first, little finger, first. Now you can play this riff with your third finger if you like. In fact, you could do this whole riff with one finger if you wanted. And you could play it that way and it would sound fine, but you're not training your fingers if you do that to be able to play the hard stuff that's going to come later on. And we're not kind of taking advantage of the idea of using different fingers is that it's going to be easier, believe it or not. But at first it's going to be strange, but your third finger and little finger are the ones that get used more in these single note riffs. So I really recommend training your little finger up with a riff such as this. If you really don't fancy doing it, or your little finger's kind of not paying attention at all, it's doing its own thing, you can use your third finger. It will be much stronger. But I'd really recommend that you use your little finger. So first, little, first. And we're trying to recreate the rhythm of the original. You're trying to recreate listen to the riff and try and recreate the rhythm of what you hear in the song. Just try and recreate everything that you can hear. Make this riff sound like this. So we have first, little, first. Now I even then added a little pause after that first E note, after that first finger note. I'm just relaxing my finger very slightly, meaning that I've got control of when that note stops, just from this hand, which is really handy. From there, we just move down with your first finger this time, because we've started in this position and we've got no more fingers this way, so we've got to slide down with your first finger. From 12 to 10th fret, where you'll be in a space, this won't be a dotted fret, down to the next space at 8, where we pause slightly, and then to finish off your riff, slide it 1 fret down to 7th fret, which should be on a dot. So those numbers again, from 12th fret at your double dot, sliding down to 10th fret in a space, sliding down 2 frets again to 8, and then finally 7. If you need this, would like this written down for you, click the link in the description below. It will take you to my website where I have this song as a chord sheet for you, and you can see what this looks like in tab, which I'll describe more about a little later on. And on there will be other kind of helps and hints and tips and things but it's nice to see them written down, so I really recommend you check that on the website below. So just a recap on the riff, we have 12, 12 again, 15 with your little finger, back to 12, so where you started from, and when you play that, you shouldn't have moved your hand left or right, so we should 12, 12, little finger at 15, 12. Then we move your hand down to 10, slide in, slide again to 8, and then finally, after a slight pause on 8, we play 7th fret and we finish there. And that wants to be to a rhythm of... If you really struggle with getting the rhythm to that, it can really help to kind of say something to yourself that is also to the rhythm of this. So because I live in and teach in Leeds, I usually get people to kind of chant to themselves, Leeds United Football Club or Rugby Club, whichever their preference is. I'm not a Leeds fan personally, but that tends to really help people. If you can't think of anything to kind of chant to get you to play this riff correctly, if you're a super new beginner, that can be one that you can use. Leeds United Football Club, and chant that in the correct manner. Leeds United Football Club. And that should help you to play it if it's something that you kind of struggle with and you can't quite find the rhythm to it. Or if you can play it right, then that's cool. So if you can play it along to me now, we'll do it slightly slower and then we'll speed it up a little bit. The super easy bass kind of version of this riff. In, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 of them, so one more again. 2 more. And last one. Leeds United Football Club. Okay, and that repeats for all of your verses. We then slide your first finger from 7th, when we finish that riff, down to 3rd fret, and we pick 8 times in a kind of power 8 fashion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we move up to 5th fret, where we also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this can be an opportunity for us to use power chords, which if you have covered power chords before, then this is the part where you definitely want to start introducing your power chords, as it will sound really cool. First finger on the thickest E string at 3rd fret, and then your power chord shape is 2 frets over with your 3rd finger, so your 3rd finger's on the A string at 5th fret, and I'd really recommend using your little finger at 5th fret on the 4th string. So we have 1st finger, 3rd finger and little finger, and that power chord shape, once your hands are in that position, just moves up by 2 frets to the 5th fret as well. And if you can then transfer what this first finger was doing and just basically power chord each one of those notes if this is a riff that you can cover. So 12th fret power chord, 15th fret power chord, back to 12, 10, 8, 7, and we get the sound of the riff. If you want even more of the sound of the riff, you can make them all into E-shaped bar chords. So basically, like you've done your F bar chord, you just move up that shape to 12th fret. 12, 12, 15, 12, 10, 8, 7. That is a far more advanced way of playing the riff. If you're an absolute new kind of beginner to these single note riffs, persevere with that one because that's the right thing to do for you. But that's kind of the way that we're going to get the sound of the record, that really kind of heavy sound. So that was up from 3rd fret, 3 to 5, and then you slide up to play the riff for the chorus. In that chorus, it plays the normal riff with power chords, or you can even do it as single notes first, if you're still getting used to it. But there's a slight variation in the riff, which again, this is written on the tab, which is located in the description below. If you click the link to my website, it's 12th fret as normal, basically, until you get to 8th fret, which is where the riff had nearly finished. Then we go back on ourselves, back to 10th fret, then back to 8, and then finish on 7 as normal. So you're adding 2 notes. Once you're normal up to 8th fret, and then you go back on yourself, back to 10, then to 8, and finish on 7th frets. So if you were doing that with power chords, and if you're doing that with major bar chords, then that's the other part of the riff. As I say, that is tabbed out on my website. 12, 12, 15, 12, 10, 8, 10, 8, 7. Those numbers super slow. 12, 12, 15, 12, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, sorry. I'll go from the top one more time. 12, 12, 15, 12, 10, 8, 10, 8, 7 to finish off the riff. And that's all the parts to the song. At the end of the chorus, it does go back to 3rd fret for this kind of build up to 5th fret again, and then you're back to your single note bass part. Cool, I hope you enjoyed that one. Seven Nation Army, absolutely fantastic riff.